Hi, I'm June, the Happy Thai Girl. This week on Cooking Made Easy with June, I'm literally whipping up a quick and easy meal, Italian cheesy French bread. I don't know a more simple recipe than this one. Cheesy French bread is coming up next on Spanish Fork 17, so smile Spanish Fork, it's time to cook. Welcome everyone. I cannot imagine how quick and easy this is. This recipe was actually given to me back in the 80s when I was in college, and everybody would make this all the time, and into the 90s. And I recently asked some of my daughter's friends, have you ever heard of, we were trying to figure out what recipe, and I said, have you ever heard of cheesy French bread? And they're like, no. I'm like, what the heck? So it's an old recipe that I'm bringing back, and you're gonna love it, and you're gonna make it all the time, I guarantee you. So first we start out by simply having French bread. So I was just thinking, I said it was Italian French bread, cheesy bread. I'm like, French, Italian, what is it? So I don't know. I'm gonna say Italian because although it's called a French bread, we're gonna do Italian cheese spices, like a pizza. So that's why it's Italian cheesy French bread. I don't know. Anyways, so you know how recipes just you like morph and turn and change. So anyway, so you just go get some French bread, and but this one happened to be so long. So I cut it in half, and you could, whatever would fit on your cookie sheet, we're just gonna lay it there. So I'm just going to, I cut this one in half so it'll fit. And then what you do is you just slice this French bread into lengthwise, like that, okay? So I'm just gonna put that on the cookie sheet for now. I'll do the other. Okay, ooh. And I'll turn that one over. So I don't know if you can see, it's just wherever it fits is gonna be just fine. So it's kind of a little off. That's not very pretty, is it? Okay, oh, here we go. I'll do it like this. There, perfect. Okay, so you just put your French bread on the board there. I guess you could spray a little nonstick there. And then all we do is take a bowl, and we just add all the ingredients. So basically, it's really cheesy. You've got 2 cups of Italian blend. Now, I was wondering, what is Italian style blend? And the ingredients are, let's see, it says here, mozzarella, provolone, Asiago, Parmesan, Romano, and Fontina cheeses. I don't know what that is. But I was thinking, if you don't have the Italian blend, I don't know why you couldn't use mozzarella mixed with some sharp cheddar and just add it. So it's 2 cups of that, okay? So this is 2 cups. And then we add 2/3 cups of mayo, which I'm gonna have to, see. Oh, here's my measuring cups. So here's 1/3 cup. So I guess you can eyeball it, but I'll just make sure. I'm not good at eyeballing mayo. So there's 1/3. Gosh, I didn't use a spatula. Anyway, so that didn't fill it up. So I'm just gonna do 2/3 cups of mayo. I'm gonna grab my little nifty spatula. You know, we waste so much food if we don't use a spatula, right? I'm being serious too. Because there's so much more when you do batter, cakes, and creamy things like this. All right, so 2/3 cups of mayo, more Parmesan cheese, which is about 1/4 cup. I won't measure that because, you know, cheese is cheese. It'll be good. And then 1/4 cup of green onions. So I'm gonna guess that also. I already had some left over from something else. I didn't want to chop anymore. Okay, and that's it. So I'm going to stir that together. Oh my goodness. I think I'm gonna use this one. So to stir this together, it's gonna be like a paste. I think I'm gonna add more green onions. I feel like we need to, maybe I'll top it up with more green onions. So this is like a really thick paste with the mayo, and just try to get it in as much as possible. To be honest with you, I'm gonna wash my hands really quick again, and I'm going to use my hands, gosh. Yep. I'm just gonna use my hands. I haven't made this in a while. I was like last minute thinking, can I make this easy? And I used to make this all the time. So that's all it is like cheese and mayonnaise and some green onions. I'm gonna add some more green onions. Okay, and that's it. So I'm gonna bring my nifty pan right here. So now you would have already preheated the oven to 375. Okay, so I'm gonna do, like there's a half and then there's a quarter. So I'm gonna put a quarter of the batch into the bread. Maybe a little bit more here. Now, you know, the size of bread is kind of approximate. So honestly, if you would like more of this stuff on your bread, I would make more. I would do time and a half maybe, because this is a really large loaf of French bread, and maybe I should have doubled it, but I didn't. But that's okay, because it'll still taste good, because it's basically like a spread for your cheese, right? I mean, a spread for your bread. So just add that. It's a little bit, it's gonna melt. It's gonna taste good. I know that it looks silly right now. It's like any kind of cooking. Okay, I'm gonna get every little bit there. I'm gonna add some to this one. And just spread it out a bit more there. And I'm gonna put the rest on this one. No, that's all right. So things are gonna melt together like that. And I think what I'm gonna do, if you'd like, and you don't have to, is to add a little sprinkle of, just to kind of like tie it together, of Parmesan on top. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna wash my hands. So now I'm gonna stick this in the oven, preheated at 375 for about 15-20 minutes. So we're gonna take a break, but when we come back after the break, I'm going to make a little Italian salsa that I made up, that it's gonna be so pretty and delicious with this. So come back. All right, welcome back. So we have the bread in the oven, the Italian cheesy French bread in the oven. So I decided to just come up with this thing, I don't know, I'm sure some of you have done it, is to make a little Italian salsa, because the bread is kind of bland, right? So I have my little basil plant that I just love having around, because it's cheaper to just buy a whole plant than to buy the fresh packed one. So I trim the top off. So I'm just getting a couple of tops off like that. Put this back. Oh my gosh, I wish you could smell it. It's amazing. So that's what you should have all the way in here. Live thyme and basil and rosemary. It smells so strong. We rinse this off a little quick. Okay, so you have some of this to garnish it, but I'm going to start with the tomato. So it's a little, I thought it would be good instead of marinara sauce. You know how a lot of times you have pizza and you want to dip the crust and they give you marinara sauce or ranch dressing? I'm like, ranch dressing? I was never sold on that for pizza, but a lot of people love it, especially you individuals in Spanish fork. But it is good, but I thought I'd make a little fresh Italian salsa. Why not? Italian salsa. There you go. We've got a fusion here. We've got Mexican, so we got salsa. We've got the French bread, and we've got the Italian cheeses. So I don't know what to call this dish. Okay, so I'm just going to chop a few, roughly chop these tomatoes. Now let me talk a little bit about tomatoes. So these are Roma tomatoes because I love them because the skin is thinner than most tomatoes, you know, and so I love it because it's not as juicy in the middle, and it's perfect for like salsa and fresh things like this. So I always choose, like even for tacos, I always choose the Roma tomatoes because it just holds its shape, and it's not very thick-skinned. So I use this for anything like pasta salads, or if I do a corned bean salsa, or and for this purpose, this little salsa I'm making. But also, if you, what was I going to say? Oh, taco toppings. But of course, if you have other tomatoes, it will still be so yummy, especially if it's a garden tomato. So I don't seed it. Some of you may want to if you want, because you don't want the juice of the middle. This one's a little bit juicier, and that's okay. So I'm just going to finish chopping these. So I've come to find, you know, when I'm cooking, especially summers and salads, and even in the winter, I'm trying to incorporate more, not just like comfort foods like chilies and stuff like that, but more fresh ingredients. And again, these Roma tomatoes also, they will last, to me, they last longer in the refrigerator than if a regular tomato. I guess you could call it, there's all kinds of tomatoes, right? Is it hothouse or big boy? I don't know. I mean, my husband plants, is the one who gardens everything, and he gets all kinds of tomatoes. And just the other day, for Mother's, well, not the other day, but a few weeks ago, he cleaned up our garden because our daughter got married recently, and we had to like do a lot of work in there. And he fixed up my garden, my basil, and see my herb. I have a little herb garden over there, and he planted lots of herbs in lots of basil. And the basil, there's all kinds. There's like lemon basil, and I'm like, or there's I think there was an orange basil or something. It was all these different types of basils, and I've not tried them, and I'm excited to try them and see if there's a difference, if there's a hint of lemon or something like that. So we'll see. Anyways, so I'm almost finished here. So we have all the tomatoes chopped, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And I'm going to chop the garlic a little bit. I have these pre-peeled garlics that I've come to love, but they don't last long in the refrigerator. So if you get a big bag of these, which they always seem to come in big bags, that I would just call all your family members and say, hey, I've got some garlic here, and you guys want some? So that it doesn't go to waste, unless you cook a lot. So I'm just gonna put a hint of garlic. So not a lot for these tomatoes. So we have garlic, and we have the chopped tomatoes. I'm just going to put that in there. I guess I could do it more fine, but I'm not going to. Then we have our fresh basil. I'm gonna cut off a little bit of the stem, and then you can just roll it together and just do it as close as you can without chopping your fingers. But honestly, I love thick pieces of basil, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we have that. Oh my goodness, I'm in heaven just smelling all these flavors. I'll move this over. Oh, I was gonna use it on the, so I'm gonna get a lemon, and I'm going to just cut a lemon. I got my cutting board over there. Okay, I'm going to squeeze it into, instead of vinegar, you know, I'm going to use our citrus, which is our lemon. Oh my gosh, that one is not very juicy. Okay, so this, I love this contraption, or I don't know what it's called, the juicer, because it catches the seeds. And when I just want a little bit of lemon or lime or whatever, it's perfect. And it's small and it's easy to store. I'm doing one more. So I would just say there's a couple tablespoons. Of course, it's to your taste. Some of you may not like lemon as much. And then we have, let's add a little salt and pepper. Excuse me, clangy. Maybe that's like just to your taste. I'm gonna put about a teaspoon. You can always add some more, right? Okay, I'm gonna grab my olive oil here. Oh my gosh, I'm noisy today. I'm gonna grab my spoon. Drizzle a little olive oil, maybe a tablespoon and a half. I don't know, not too much. I'm just going to toss it together. Some chefs just get their hands in there and just toss it. Gosh, it looks so good, but I feel like I need more basil, yeah? You've got, it's almost like a little salad, right? Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more basil and then we'll check our bread, okay? So guys, bear with me. Cut a few more tops up here. There we go. Off. Just gonna roll everything together. Oh my goodness, smells so good. Okay. Oh, you know what I like to do, because it's not, the aroma is not very sweet, right? So I'm just gonna add a little bit of sugar, like maybe a teaspoon or oh, I go back, you know what? I'm gonna add honey, I'm sorry. I'm gonna add honey, I'll be right back. I got some honey right here. Don't you love my cooking? I just randomly think of these things, I'm sorry. My little cute honey pot, I'm gonna drizzle a tiny bit of honey in there. Just, whoa, that's a lot. It's gonna be good. So, that's my secret ingredient, honey. Utah honey. Who knows, it could be from Spanish Fork. Okay, that's it, really. Okay, now we're gonna take a break and I'm gonna check on the bread. When we come back, we'll have put all this together. So, come back. Look at that. Golden brown, lightly brown on the top. It's perfect. So I'm going to take a piece at a time and I'm going to cut it. Let's do it this way. I mean, you could honestly just let it sit for a minute, and so then you can have that, but oh, looks like I made a little dent there. I'm gonna do this. So it'll be, oh, it's hot. I'll do it like this. Okay, and just put a slice, maybe this bowl is too big, but I'll put some in here, I'll put some in here. We have a whole set right here. I guess this is just an idea of how you could serve this bread, but you could do it any way you want. You could get a platter, I guess. Okay, so it's really hot right now, so I'm like, ah! Okay, I'm gonna cut it here. All right, you guys are getting impatient. I know, I can feel it. I can feel it. So I would let it cool. You know what, I'm just gonna put this here. Just several cheeses of French bread. Put around. I guess you could have like a smaller salsa bowl to put in the middle. But, and last, let's put it all the way around. I don't know, you guys, I'm torn between the cheese getting everywhere. I think that's good. There's more right here, last cut. I'm just gonna do this for now, okay? So we have time to taste it. I say that and then I keep going. Hot, 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 hot. Okay, I think we're good. All right, you guys, let's taste a piece. And my favorite part, honestly, is this little crunchy end. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this salsa, and I'm going to put a little bit on top. But of course, you can do whatever you want to do, right? Hopefully that's not too hot. This could be an appetizer, but I would say it's a meal for me. So yummy. With all the cheese, it's actually really light with the tomato and the fresh basil. And of course the lemon juice, and a little bit of honey. Oh my goodness. You guys need to make this. Look how long it took me, not very long. So what do they say in Italian? Ciao? I don't remember. But in any case, it's happy cooking till next time.